Welcome once again, everybody. Latest episode of Thick Boy Hours podcast, episode, I don't know, 22. It seems like it's 22. I don't know. Could be wrong.
21?
But is it 21?
I
21?
think I
So,
don't know.
we'll find out. But, so we're back once again. Two out of three of us. Q will be joining in progress. We have myself, Lord Chris, community manager, Lords of Gaming.net, Chris Jones Gaming Network YouTube channel. And we're gonna let Skaggs do his little intro. We got Dodgy Yeti down there on the bottom. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing. Haven't been able to play games or anything for the past week or so. Was down sick for the first half of the week, and the day that like my fever broke and everything, I can't move my wrist, so I haven't been able to do shit all week besides go to work. So
What happened to your rest? Did you fight a bear?
T-Rex, but yeah, pretty much the same. I beat its ass, but it hurt my wrist. No, I was playing Power World, man. I felt
Power
good enough to
that
play Power World for 2 hours, and then I was like, "Ow, my wrist is fucking hurting."
I've of all the things to get hurt playing, how did you hurt yourself playing Power World?
I don't know if I hurt myself playing Power World. I think it. So this is gonna just expose me for being old, but it is what it is. I'm old, man, at this point.
Episode 22. So I was right. Episode 22.
Uh but I think I have arthritis in my getting in my wrist, which, you know, played a lot of video games and everything like that. It
To be
it
fair,
does happen.
to be fair, I wouldn't say I have arthritis or whatever, but I'm sure I do. I don't know. But when I use like the Xbox controller is like perfect. Like I play for 8, 10, 12 hours just fine. No issues. But when I play with the PS5 controller specifically, like even just like 2 hours, 3 hours, like my hands feel weird. Not that they hurt, but they just feel really weird afterwards trying to play like an Xbox controller or mouse and keyboard or something like that. So I feel some type of effects, but not to the point to where it hurts or whatever. Yet, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the the playing on mouse and keyboard definitely wrecks it more. I get more fatigued with with mouse and keyboard than I ever do just using a controller, especially an Xbox controller, because like you said, Xbox controller is like perfect for my hand. But the reason why I hopped on Power World is I seen a new game that's coming out that is it kind of reminds me of Power World. It's got its closed beta right now. I actually was going to say something about it, but I can't seem to find it in my YouTube histories right now. But as soon as I do, I will say something. Oh, I think I found the day. But it looks really cool. It's like Pokemon meets Power World, which is funny because they are so much of the same game pretty much already.
Yeah.
But it's a Nemo.
Yeah.
ANIIMO. Yeah.
There's been some talks in our the writers Discord about Animo and our last writers meeting, which I wasn't able to attend. Um, one of our big he does all the like the YouTube specific stuff. His name's Lord Petey, and he does a lot of YouTube stuff himself. But he said Animo is greater than anything Pokemon could wish to be, or something along those lines.
There's a lot of people that I see saying that. Give me 1 second. Here I'm being blown up over here. So let me go check that out. But
All right.
go ahead and introduce the one that you wanted to talk about, and then I will be right back.
All right. As for myself, like I said, Lord Chris, lordsofgaming.net. Um, I haven't hurt my hand playing video games lately. I've been doing a lot of magic related stuff. Um, IRL. Been going to two different shops, about 40 minutes to an hour away, and I've been getting more into, I guess, what everybody would call CEDH, as I've always been of the mind that EDH and CDH is same to me, just higher level of power. But been playing Animar quite a bit with CEDH people, learning the nuances of what that entails. And so for the first time in many years since I built this Animar deck back in, I don't even know, 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. I can't even remember when I built this Animar deck, but I have overhauled it and changed quite a bit of Animar. And as crazy as this sounds, I think it is the new version, which is geared towards CDH, the format, the decks that are played, the cards that are played. I think there's a better chance to beat it with non-CDH decks, I guess. I've been able to play it once, and I was stuck on one land the whole game, and I lost to Dom. He was playing Fire Lord Azula, which is a really good commander. So I'm interested to see where this CDH journey takes me, as everybody I've talked to says Animar is a fringe at best CDH deck. So I guess you would consider a rogue CDH deck, which I like to be the underdog anyways. And like I said, 2 weeks ago, I won my very first CDH game with the old version of Animar, but there's no Kiki Jiki, there's no Pestermite, there's no Gilded Drake anymore. It's a whole new ball game for
Why
all of
would
my
you
friends
take out win cons, like win combos in CDH? Like, that's the whole
because
point.
Kiki stuff like Kiki Jiki and Deceiver Exarch, and I've known this for years. Like you can kind of see it coming, and it's easier to interact with versus something like Walking Ballista, which I've known I could have put in Animar for many years now. I just haven't done it. I just either not owned Walking Ballista or just I've always been pretty anal about changing anything in Animar just because I play one card, test it out, see if I like it. If I like it after many games, I'll keep it. If I don't, I'll go back to the other card I took out. But like there is, I don't want to say better win cons, but I'd probably say more redundancy and easier to get win cons. However, like I said, it's geared towards specific users and stuff in the CDH format. So
Hey, your webcam's all blurry.
yeah, I noticed. I'm trying to correct it, but I'm interested to see where it goes. Like I said, I lost the very first game on one land, but still almost was able to get off pretty good to a good start. Just all my creatures were dead after Dom wiped the board. So we'll see where it goes, but lots of fun. Got a new modern deck, which is pretty cool. 5-color Birthing Ritual deck. Looking forward to see how that works. But ready to get into the first topic. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir. The
I don't know what's
struggle
wrong.
is real.
I don't have the fancy camera yet. Anyways, so we'll talk about the boring stuff and save the good stuff for Q. So everybody knows who Ubisoft is, and I will work on adjusting the camera as we go. Everybody knows who Ubisoft is. They've won worst. I should start with the intro to Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed. Uh,
Like you said, everybody already knows Ubisoft.
yeah,
They've made their trademark. They are known for good early, terrible late game.
but you know the type of games Ubisoft has, Assassin's Creed stuff like that. Well, recently, with around the last time of the last podcast, um, there is a union within Ubisoft or part of Ubisoft, or whatever the case may be. I've not been able to do as much research as I normally like to do, but they've been threatening to strike, and I have posted the article or one of the articles. So these people have been threatening to strike, and the union has called for the resignation of CEO. I'm not going to say his name right, but Yves Guillermo. And over the years, it's not just been like this year per se, but over the years, things have gotten worse with Ubisoft. They've won like worst um, development studio or place to work at like 2 years in a row. We talked about it on the podcast before, but two union representatives have warned that it will be impossible for company management to rebuild any trust with employees while long-serving CEO Guillermo remains in power. Speaking to Game Developer, which is where I'm doing this article from, about the current climate of the French publisher, Marc Ruchle and Shakib Matau, who both ply their trade at Ubisoft Paris and serve as union representatives. I am also a union representative where I work at myself. For Solidarius, I don't know that word either, indicated staff of the company panicked and are angry after experiencing what they described as betrayal from top management. They shared their views just weeks after the French publisher announced a sweeping reset that kicked off with multiple studio closures, game cancellations, promise of more cost cutting, and the announcement of return to office mandate. Obviously, some COVID places are still in effect for many different countries. Screenshots of internal messages have been viewed by game developers, suggest that initial response to the announcement was widespread shock, disbelief, condemnation. Guillermo himself was called out multiple messages posted to the company's internal communication platform, with some employees questioning why he remains in charge. And I don't want to read like the whole article, but
Yeah.
uh,
Five
people
hundred
wanting,
million euro cost reduction plan in 2028.
yeah, people really want to get rid of Guillermo, and like it's been talked about, like Ubisoft shopping itself out to different people. I believe they've taken money from Tencent or some Saudi investment fund. I can't remember exactly who they took money from, but we will have to see what unfolds. I know unions are different from whatever place of employment, whatever contracts that they have in place. My union contracts, I'm sure, is way different than the contract at Ubisoft. I'm sure the contract at Ravensoft Works is different than Ubisoft, also different than mine. So it'll be interesting to see like if a big strike or walkout or something happens. I don't see Guillermo stepping down. Um, he didn't sell him. He didn't sell the company off yet, and like Ubisoft has been quote unquote a big crap hole to uh, many people that have worked there. A lot of people have been very vocal about it. So, what do you think about the situation with Ubisoft?
I think we should just go buy Ubisoft. Let's go in halvesies on Ubisoft. I got $20
I
in
mean,
my wallet.
I mean, if the trends stay the same and games don't come out finished or uh, shares go down, we might be able to buy shares or uh,
I
whatever the
fuck
case may be for Ubisoft.
Probably by summer I'll be able to pick it up on a at the dollar store or something. Like in $10 on the rack by Ubisoft. But I don't know. Honestly, with how Ubisoft's been, it's the one thing that does surprise me is that you know everybody hates it when all these places have to downsize and stuff like that. Is the the fact that he was planning from like 2026 to 2028 of downsizing to the point of uh it being a 500 million euro like save. Like he's gonna save €500 million to be able from the downsizing. Like either he either they're supposed to be putting out some banger games in the next 2 years, or he's seeing that they're starting to spin their wheel. I don't know which one it necessarily is. But that's the part that's shocking to me. Other than that, I don't really shock me because Ubisoft is trash like all the way through.
Ubisoft isn't the only one that had issues. A news outlet that I pay close attention to, because I like Ches Gordon quite a bit. Um, Windows Central has also, while we're talking about Ubisoft, has laid off all employees except for literally Ches Gordon. Uh, I forget exactly what his title is. He's like this. He was like the top guy, senior editor, whatever the case may be. But they laid off everybody, so he is the only one working for Windows Central. So if you see anything going out for Windows Central, chances are it's probably Ches Gordon. So
Dude, wash it. I've been seeing where like the Washington Post got rid of a lot of people. Some people like in the middle of war zones got fired. I was like, how the fuck can you fire somebody in the middle of a war zone? Like, I get it, layoffs and like the unfortunate part is like a lot of like people get their news from like YouTube videos and stuff like that. So like not a bunch of people go out to like look at articles or anything. But like son of a bitch, man. You'd think you'd keep that person out there at the very least, or at least bring him home and then fire him. These companies are ruthless, man. Looks like there's something.
so
Maybe that's just me.
a lot of people find out different information from just social media in general. So
Yeah.
they like to be able to find out um, that you're fired or
The
to find out you're fired from social media or whatever is pretty shitty. I know if I found out on like, I don't know, Facebook or something that my business has closed down where I work at, I'd be pretty upset. And I'm sure if your boss didn't tell you that you were fired and like you just woke up one morning, you scrolling through Facebook and find out so and so company closed down or reducing their workforce 30-50%. And like some of those people for Windows Central, I think they found it over social media. I don't want to be 100% on that, but I know Ches Gordon's only one person, so he couldn't. I'm sure he doesn't have the ability to let everybody know, but I'm sure a lot of people will hopefully take in freelancers or whatever the case may be, people to do volunteer work and stuff like that. So
yeah. The
hopefully, go ahead. Sorry.
I got a funny story about like not being told anything about like your business shutting down. Whenever I was in high school, I had a class with a friend, and he uh he looks over at me and he goes, "I just lost my job." I was like, "Hey, you remember where Long John Silver's used to be, right?"
Yeah, right next to
Chris,
Wendy's where I work
yeah.
at.
So he's like, "I just lost my job." I was like, "Oh man, you used to give me like extra chicken and everything when I went in there." He's like, yeah, that's not gonna happen anymore. I was like, what happened? Did they catch you doing stuff like that? He goes, no. My mom just drove by and they were removing all the fryers and everything out of there. They were removing all the tables and everything. So, like, they just shut down and started tearing out the place without telling any of their employees. And he had to text his manager and be like, hey, what's going on? And they were like, oh, yeah, no, we shut down. Like, 2 hours ago, effective, we shut down. And I was like, man, that's awful. But,
Rallies kind of did something similar. I don't know if you remember, but
mm-hmm.
Jordan's shop was pretty going still pretty
That
good at
rallies
this
was
point,
goaded whenever Jordan
and
was there.
Rally shut down, and we had the Seven Brew come in all while we were still playing there. But they shut down out of the blue too. And the lady I bought my old Ford Explorer from, she used to be my old step aunt or whatever. But like they gave her like I don't even remember like their chicken and stuff out of the freezer and fries and stuff because my mom, my stepmom gave all that stuff to me. I had that stuff in my freezer. I don't think I ever even told you guys that. But Rally's closed down. They were given
Nah,
the
because I'd be
stuff.
asking for sandwiches on when you came in. Oh shit! That companies are messed up, man. They'll do it in the wildest ways. It's not, and you expect like as the company is a bigger company, like they might act a little better, but no, no, not really. Evidently, because Ubisoft's planning on laying off enough people to save €500 million, and Long John Silver's is just ripping shit out.
I also
Well,
forgot to mention that they did fire some people that Ubisoft did. I forget exactly, but it was some people that were like I don't want to say whistleblowers. That's not the term I'm looking for, but people that were kind of standing up for other people did get fired from Ubisoft for a really dumb reason.
lovely.
We're just talking about Ubisoft's union wanting the CEO Yves Guillermo to step down, and everybody at Windows Central got laid off except for Jez Gordon.
Oh,
And Washington Post laid off all their people over in the war zone right now. And then I told the story about how Eric got fired while we were at school, just because Long John Silver shut down. And
oh yeah. Forgot about that. That was crazy.
I was just like, I lost my job. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I mean, you're in school. You're not going to do much, Eric. You're gonna go to school and swim,
Dude, that
maybe.
guy
But
was there all the time. He was
Hi,
like
Man's Long John Silvers.
he was putting in probably almost a 40-hour work week there.
sounds like Dominique and Papa John's because he worked there forever, and Dominique was always at Papa John's.
Yeah.
Piggybacking off Windows Central, laying off other people, there is an article that recently came up for Windows Central. If everybody knows me, they know how much I have enjoyed Baldur's Gate 3. My time has been absolutely amazing. One of the best games of all time. Need to update it on my top 100 list. But per Windows Central, Baldur's Gate 3 is getting a new HBO TV show. The news that Baldur's Gate 3 getting an HBO TV show came as a huge surprise to everyone, including one of Larian's developers, publishing director Michael Doucet. After having
Dulce.
a crash out on his main, uh, I guess main, I don't know, I assume his main Twitter, he went on to say he hopes Larian writers get the credit that they deserve. And I will share the article after I finish this. CEO Sven Vinchke, however, is feeling more optimistic and notes that while Larian isn't working on the production, showrunner Craig Mazan has reached out to the studio to talk to them. So I will share this real quick in the Discord. So what do you think about a Baldur's Gate TV show? It's different than actually playing the game. I know you guys aren't turn-based guys. So while you're not turn-based guys, you do like TV shows, and this is right up our alley.
I
The
like
the
Boulder's Gate. I did. And then I'll let you go with yours, Skags.
the thing that's gonna be kind of odd to me is if it's following the same same storyline is like how are they gonna do it? Are they gonna like play through the game and do it that way type deal, or are they just gonna make random choices? Like, are they gonna follow it like you could in the game?
It says the show will reportedly pick up right where the events of Baldur's Gate 3 left off and will probably feature both existing characters from Larian Studios, Xbox, PC, PS5, Dungeons& Dragons, RPG, presumably including its companions as well as new faces.
Well,
Nice.
This was announced last Thursday, I think. Yep,
Okay.
last Thursday.
the the thing that I was gonna say was it kind of just sounds like a Dungeons and Dragons TV show, which is cool in my book. I don't know why it took Boulder's Gate to come along for them to be like, wouldn't it be cool to follow a party of adventurers? But I guess I do get there was a lot of people who loved the characters so much that kind of. But then it just kind of sounds okay if it's starting after the events of Boulder's Gate, then it's just a Dungeons and Dragons TV show, or it's going to be a tie-in for a new game that they're making. So it's kind of the
Well, there will be a Baldur's Gate 4 or sequel, but it won't be done by Larian Studios.
yeah.
Larian Studios is working on the next Divinity game or whatever, but they also said the endings of Baldur's Gate 3 were created so they could serve as a narrative soil for new adventures. There's plenty of directions that the TV show could go. This is the CEO talking about it. Plenty of directions they could go. He's eager to find out which ones Craig Mazan and the team will pick. He added that he reached out for a chat, so CEO of Larian Studios will obviously talk to the showrunner, and I'm assuming give like kind of potential bullet points or plot lines or something that the TV show could utilize. But Mazan is a big fan, having completed Baldur's Gate 3 on Honor Mode, which is the most difficult one. I think you only get one save mode, and invested close to over 1,000 hours of playtime in the RPG. He's played Dungeon Dragons. He's been Dungeon Master for weekly D&D sessions for 15 years. He says after putting nearly 1,000 hours into the incredible world of Baldur's Gate 3, it's a dream come true to be able to continue the story that Larian and Wizards of the Coast created. He's a devoted fan of D&D and the brilliant way that Swin, Vinchke, and his team and his gifted team adapted it. Can't wait to bring Baldur's Gate and all the incredible characters to life with as much respect and love as they can. And he's deeply grateful to Gabe Morano and the team at Hasbro because obviously Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast, for entrusting him to with this incredible property. So I don't know what else I backed out of. I am interested to see how it goes, and hopefully it works out. So glad to have you here, Q. Do you have anything interesting you've been doing the past couple weeks since the last pod you want to throw out there?
No, nothing at all. I've been working away and making sure people have water because it's been too damn cold.
Been
Yeah, you
chilly out.
I call Q the real life superhero. Anybody that has those types of jobs, plumbers, electricians, generator people, whatever you call those people, air heating, cooling, anything to do with that type of stuff, because Um, I have no problem working, but my ass don't want to get out there and do that. I shoveled at seven
Neither do
o'clock in
we.
the morning. Shoveled at 7 o'clock in the morning to make sure I get out the Monday after the big snow or whatever. And yeah, it sucked balls. So I got an interesting thing to talk to you guys about. Have you ever heard of Pocopia?
Opia. It sounds familiar.
Pokemon Pocopia. So it's a
Oh,
game.
Peakopia, yes, the one where you're the
Uh,
little Ditto guy.
okay, I did not know that this existed. I'm always trying to have at least one Pokemon related thing to talk about. So for
Is that the
background for the
Animal
people,
Crossing one?
yeah,
Yes.
it's Pokemon meets Animal Crossing. So
Yeah.
background for people out there, Pokemon Pocopia. You play as a Ditto that's transformed to look like a human. You find and befriend your fellow Pokemon, carve out a life for yourself, work together with Professor Tangrowth to build a town for everyone to live in. Learn the moves of your fellow Pokemon to change lands, such as Bulbasaur's leafage. To make the wild grass grow, you can also use abilities to transform and navigate the world around you, such as crossing water with Lapras's Surf. As you work to help nature flourish, more Pokemon will appear for you to meet and learn from, create habitats, cultivate crops, and more in a world with varied weather and real-time day and night. Real-time day and nights. Gather materials to create items and furniture. Till the fields to grow delicious crops. Create habitats for Pokemon you meet. Take photos of fun moments. Customize your hairstyle, clothing, so much to do. No need to rush, though. Go at your own pace. Enjoy the journey. With the real time day night cycle, varying weather, and other surprises, just taking a nap in your bed and letting time pass can be relaxing. As your town develops, your fellow Pokemon may also come with you with requests you can fulfill to solve their problems or make the town more comfortable place to live in. Eventually, you'll be able to build a nice big home of your own and invite Pokemon and even other players via uh, local wireless or online to visit and hang out together. You can even invite visitors who don't have the game, whether they are on the Nintendo Switch 2 or Nintendo Switch by using Game Share. So that to me makes me think it's also on Nintendo Switch. However, everything I see has only said Switch 2, so I thought it was only Nintendo Switch 2, but if it's on Nintendo Switch, I will try it as well. They also revealed pre-order. Uh, Pre-order's now open at the. Uh, this was last month too, by the way. So these rewards might be gone by now, but get a Ditto sitting. Get a Ditto sitting Cuties plush when you pre-order this lifestyle simulation game for Nintendo Switch 2 via the Pokemon Center. So, how have I not heard about Pokemon Pocopia, and why haven't you told me, Q?
It
Oh
was
no,
on the
I
latest direct.
yeah. Speaking of that, there's another direct coming up, I think tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, on
Wait,
the
a
8th.
Sunday direct?
It's either Sunday or Monday. I'll have to look it up, but it is the literal 30th anniversary debut. So, but before we get into that, I will apologize to Chris for not telling you about Picopia. It was on the direct. I was pretty excited about it. I
Yes.
thought we had talked about it before, but it that as crazy as it sounds is like the closest game that they've gotten me to getting a Nintendo Switch 2. Not ZA, not any of the other stuff. It's been that game.
Yeah. Same.
So,
that's the game that.
apologies.
I was going to get a Nintendo Switch 2 with my tax check, but because of the purchase that my stepmom convinced me to get for my daughter's birthday slash graduation gift, the Nintendo Switch 2 is on hold. However, I've not been a giant Animal Crossing fan, but Pokemon Pocopia seems interesting enough for me to try like the Animal Crossing Stardew Valley, the style of cozy gaming, so to speak. And we know I've written an article about that in the past. So, are you going to get Pokemon Pocopia?
Me?
Either of you?
I will.
You have a Switch too, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't have a
Is it
Switch too.
only is it only on Switch 2? Because the thing I just
Probably.
let's look.
I
I'm
can
gonna
see them
say
putting that on Switch 1 and 2.
I'm gonna say that they want people to buy into the game share thing. It's becoming very, very popular that they want you to buy one. Everybody already has a Nintendo Switch or a Switch Lite or something that's running games. So they want you to buy one Nintendo Switch 2, and then they want you to buy the
I keep
game
forgetting about
share,
the game share thing. I keep forgetting about that.
and then you can just keep all of your Nintendos, your Nintendo Switches. You don't have to buy a shitload of Switch 2s because nobody would do that. And you have to pay for their extra online service of game
Only
share.
Nintendo Switch 2. It's
Yeah.
releasing only on that.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, like I said, never been a big Animal Crossing fan, but I'm always interested to try out a new Pokemon game. I'm sure you guys remember Pokemon Pinball on Game Boy Advance. I enjoyed the Ruby Sapphire version. And then like the mystery dungeon games were okay. I wasn't really into the mystery dungeon games. Um,
I was always
Pokemon.
confused if you get to evolve in Mystery Dungeon or not. I
Yeah,
got
do you
I,
get to evolve?
I
I can't
don't
even remember.
I got my Mudkip up to or my Trico up to like level 22 and he didn't evolve and I was like, "You know what? Nope. I don't want to be a Trico forever. Bye."
And the Pokemon Stadium games, I really enjoyed those, especially like I think it was Shadow Coliseum or whatever the case may be, where you could transfer Pokemon back and forth, whatever the case may be, which was always a key positive thing for the stadium games. Like the Nintendo Switch has the Nintendo apps if you have the online service, like Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, 64, stuff like that. So you can go play like Pokemon Stadium and Stadium 2. However, you don't have access to be able to transfer Pokemon back and forth. So it's not nearly as fun.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to Pokemon Pocopia. Hopefully, at some point I'll figure out how to get a Switch 2. But like I said, the big purchase for my daughter's gift, as well as got to get the plane ticket for LA in June. So
Dude, go to
next,
Japan this year.
can't go to Japan. Team's not going to Japan. The next country they're going to is Germany, which I don't know if they're going this year, but they're going to Gamescom. That's the next thing. King David talks about it all the time on the podcast. It's like Lords of Gaming's trying to take over the world one country at a time. So we'll see. We'll see where they go. I definitely would like to go to Japan, but LA is the trip this year, and we definitely, in no means, could afford Japan.
I'll go in your stead. I'll
I mean,
be I'll
by all
wear
means,
I'll wear like a tablet with your face on it and then a little GoPro that I can stream everything to you.
make
You
sure you
can
visit the Konami headquarters and tell them get their ass in gear, get the Suikoden games out they're supposed to be making, Suikoden anime. I'm fuck
uh,
tired of waiting.
tired of waiting. Fair
I mean, I
enough.
did wait for over 25 years, so I mean, to be fair, I can wait a little bit longer. So recently, we had a Magic Hall of Famer pass away, one of the greatest players of all time. I think uh, of my personal favorites to watch, he's top three for sure. Kai Bood passed away due to cancer. So recently at Pro Tour Lore and Eclipse, they put together a couple of video packages, one entailing like his Magic career. The German Juggernaut is his nickname because early in his, well, he's always been a great player, but like there was in a tournament where he wasn't day twoing regardless. And if he made day two, chances are he was top eighting or winning the tournament. He's had multiple cards made like Shadow Mage Infiltrator, I think. I'm gonna pull up his cards real quick. But while I'm pulling up his cards, I'll rattle off some of his Pro Tour accomplishments. Pro Tour Chicago 1997 team event, he won World Championship 1999, Won Pro Tour Chicago 1999. Won Pro Tour New York 2001 as a team. Pro Tour Barcelona 2001. Pro Tour New Orleans 2001. Pro Tour Boston 2002 as a team event. Player of the Year in 99, 2000, 2001/2, 2003. So he's a four-time Player of the Year. He also has other wins are 7 Grand Prix victories, 2001 Invitational winner. He designed Void Mage Prodigy is the card he designed for that. So it was cool to see them uh, honor him at the event. A lot of people heavily influenced by Kai Bood.
Void Mage.
So, do you guys know anything about the German juggernaut Kai Bood?
No. Hey, that. I bet this card was actually pretty good back in the day. The Mage Prodigy.
Yeah, he didn't like the original art, so he actually had another one. Ended up being like in a special set of they like changed the art or something like that.
Time
And
Spiral Remastered.
he's had multiple cards made, but I can't just find like a list of cards without going to like a website specifically. But like, I think he did. I don't know, let me find it. So while I'm looking for this, let's talk about Pro Tour Lorwyn Eclipsed. One of Q's favorite topics to talk about is Magic. I love talking to Q about Magic. So while I look for the cards that Kai Bood had made, so we had Pro Tour Lorwyn Eclipsed. Lorwyn Eclipse recently came out. We've talked about it once or twice on a podcast. Really love this set personally. It's my type of playing. Fairies is one of my favorite creature types. But the standard metagame for the tournament, there is 15.7% in first place for Simic Rhythm, which is based around the card Nature's Rhythm. Then there's a 15% for Bant Rhythm. And then we had Sultai Reanimator at 10.1, Bant Airbending 6.5, Is It Spellmentals 4.9, Is It Lessons, the Menace for the past Pro Tour, only 4.2%. Dimir Midrange, which is essentially Control, 3.6. 5-color Rhythm Deck, 2.9. Dimir Excruciator, which is what won the Pro Tour, 2.3%. Elementals, 2.3. And other Elementals, 2.3. And the other category is 30.1% of people playing other decks not within the metagame. So, we will talk about that after I mention the metagame win rate. So, exactly the same order. Simic Rhythm, 45%. Bant Rhythm, 38%. Solitaire Animator, 33%. Bant Airbending, 42%. Is It Spellmentals had a 72.6%. Is It Less Than 62.7%. Dimir Midrange, 58.8%. 5-color Rhythm, 44.4%. Dimir Excruciator, which I mentioned, won the Pro Tour, 61.8%. Is It Elementals, 41.9%. Grixis Elementals, 71.4%. The other category, 61.1%. So lots of different win rates. We're not going to talk about the top 8 yet, but lots of different win rates. So what do you guys think about the meta game as I look up Kai Bood's cards real quick? Seems pretty diverse to me. That's what we want, right?
Fairly diverse. That was day one.
Yes. And the top 8 is all different decks. No one had the same deck in top 8.
Okay.
You know what? I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I am very happy with that.
Laurelwind kind of did open up the floodgates for having nice diverse decks again. I mean, imagine a set where every single card feels like you're playing Magic the Gathering again, instead of Final Fantasy or any of the other random places that truthfully haven't made sense for Magic the Gathering. You go back to Lorwyn, you give people hella creature types, you give them good cards, you give them cool mechanics. That's I hope that they learn from Lorwyn, which I know that they won't because I've seen the sets that are already coming out this year, and I've heard about some of the sets that are coming out past that. Just keep making magic cards in the magic world. Even if we go back to Strixhaven for the 9,000th fucking time, at least it's in the world of magic. Keep going back to magic places. Give us magic cards. Give more of our magic specific creatures and planeswalkers and things like that. More and more and more lore.
I honestly don't think Final Fantasy was too bad of a setting for Magic, but there's much more egregious ones like the Ninja Turtles, Spider Man.
But none of them are like, they're not like, we go to the world of Ninja Turtles or we go to the world of Final Fantasy. It's like, here is our interpretation of the world of Final Fantasy in the context, or the world of Ninja Turtles in the context of Magic the Gathering. And that's what makes all of those sets feel so bad. Even Fallout. I love Fallout and I like some of the Fallout cards. But it's like, here's the colors that we would put on Mothman and all the crazy shit that Mothman would do. And here's rad counters just because that's the only thing that we could quantify to put into Magic the Gathering the game that
I
you could
I
you
do
know,
think they need to stop giving those types of sets like their own mechanic. They should only
yes.
work with mechanics that are already in Magic. You got the
Yes.
keywords, you got planeswalkers, you got stuff like that, which, you know, adding planeswalkers might be a little odd or whatever, but I mean, at the very least, what you could do is you could take Jace and say that he went to Final Fantasy.
Sure.
They
Yeah,
can they can
I
jump.
would even be down with that. One character experiences this other plane of existence because he's a planeswalker or she's a planeswalker.
Yeah, set send Liliana to fucking Fallout. How awesome would that be? She
Straight
can.
up.
Apparently, Kaiboot only had one card made. I thought he had more, but no, he just won a shitload of tournaments. Everybody has had one card made except for I already forgot his name. I just looked it up. Seth Manfield should have a card made shortly, and Javier Dominguez. Javier Dominguez will have a second card made. So
And you get that for winning the Pro Tour, right?
right now, you get it for winning Worlds. It was you would win an invitational. They had an invitational. That's when you got like Snapcaster Mage and Void Mage. They did it for different tournaments over the years, but then they went to invitational wins. That's when we got Snapcaster Mage and other stuff. Like Fervent Champion is one that is just many people might not even know it was an invitational winner. That was one of Javier Dominguez's card. Elite Spellbinder.
No, I didn't know that one was.
Um, just printed in Lorwyn Eclipse. We talked about it. Jean Emmanuel Dupras card, Formidable Speaker is a card. But now it's only for winning worlds at the moment, which could change because the guy that had Snapcaster Mage, he won Invitational, and like Avalanche Riders is one. Shadow Mage Infiltrator, Rootwater Thief. Like there's a lot of random old cards I never even realized were
You
uh,
know, out of this list that I'm
like
seeing, Javier Dominguez is the only one I respect because it's the only one that's not a control card.
Yes.
I mean,
I only
some people might consider Snapcaster Mage a tempo card.
You know what? I'll accept that. I'll accept that
Okay.
to a certain extent because you can only flashback instants or sorceries. So, I mean, it kind of puts you in a control style still.
What I used to do, because I know I mention it all the time, like, well, that card was great in Standard. I had the privilege of playing Snapcaster Mage in Standard, and it was like the first time I took the time to really play and put together a good deck. It was red blue,
Thank you.
and like I would just flash in Snapcaster Mage to block, and then it would die. But my card in the graveyard, Brimstone Volley, that cost me a red and 2 colorless to deal 3 damage. If I had a creature die, it's morbid triggers, and I could cast. I get the morbid effect, so I would just Snapcaster Mage block, deal 5 at their face, and I got the privilege to do that in Standard, which was really great. So something about this Pro Tour that I do want to iterate, and I mentioned this in my latest Magic the Gathering video, which I don't know when it'll go up, because I think my next video to go up is a Yu-Gi-Oh video, ironically. But I do have a Magic video. I've always been a fan of creature toolbox decks. People that know me know Animar. My favorite commander deck that I have is heavily creature based. One of my favorite decks in Modern for a long time was Kiki Cord, which is a creature toolbox deck. So definitely love the rhythm decks in Standard, which Nature's Rhythm, that's 2 green and X. Search your library for creature card with X, put it into play, whatever the case may be. But as Harmonize, you can cast it from your graveyard, and you could tap a creature to reduce the cost of the spell. So there's times I'm playing Arena where I tap a creature that's got like, I don't know, it's got like 6 power, and I'm putting Craterhoof Behemoth into play and just swinging and killing somebody with just 2 creatures. So it's pretty gnarly. The top 8 of this tournament is something I'm super excited for because we don't get to see it very often, regardless if there is a diverse metagame. Just sometimes just the best decks make it to top 8. But even with the metagame being as diverse as it is, and I was super happy that the other category played heavily into a diverse metagame, we get 8 different decks, which is really cool to see. We got Dimir Excruciator, which is a blue-black, and it's based around the creature Doomsday Excruciator, a card that nobody thought would see play. It costs 6 black. That's exactly a 6 black for 6/6 flying. When it enters, if it was cast, each player exiles all but the bottom 6 cards of their library face down. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card. So you could think you cast it on your turn. Your opponent's going to be the first one to have to draw during their upkeep and draw for a turn. So if they can't kill that and it's played in like a control shell, the chances are they're going to lose the deck out. Then you also had Teamer, which is red, white, blue Harmonizer, which is based around Might Form Harmonizer, which is a whatever the space set is, Edge of Attorneys, based around Might Form Harmonizer card, which has a cool combo that Might Form Harmonizer is a 4/4. Whenever a land you control enters, you double the power of target creature you control to end the turn. So you got to think it's kind of like just giving a creature haste and smacking them with a big ass landfall creature. So I mean, if you got a removal spell, whatever the case may be, it's kind of glass cannony. But another fun deck. Then you got, there's always a control deck in top 8. You got Jeskai Control, typical red, blue, white stuff. Stock Up, Get Lost, Lightning Helix, Ultima from Final Fantasy, Jeskai Revelation. Is it Elementals? Lore and Eclipse, one of the primary creature types is Elementals. So we got the 5 dual colored Elementals: Vibrance, Wistfulness, Deceit, Emptiness, and whatever the other one was, I forget. But they've been really good. Roaming Throne came out in Lost Caverns of Ixalan, finally getting some spotlight here. The card price has skyrocketed. It's like $70 or something like that for this standard card. So
Roaming Throne?
Oh yeah,
Roaming
it's
Throne.
fucking great, man. I have
You
it
can
in
look
a.
Nice.
while I'm going over it to find out what the exact price is, but it doubles ETB triggers, and all the new elementals are based off. For anybody who doesn't know, um, chances are you're usually going to play them for the evoke cost, which is hybrid of whatever the dual colored is: blue black, blue black, or red green, or blue green, etc., etc. And Roaming Throne will double those triggers. So, for example, Vibrance, which is a card I just added to my new version of Animar, is, for example, you could play the evoke cost of red, green. When it enters, if 2 red was played, you get to deal 3 damage to any target. that counts people, creatures, planeswalkers. And then if it enters, if green spent the cast, you can search your library for a land card, reveal it, put in your hand, you gain 2 life. So you got to think 2 lands, 4 life, or 6 damage, or if you are, you got pictures like this. If you cast it using the normal mana cost, you go red, 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 green, green, you're getting 3 damage, land, 2 life, 2 life. And there's other elementals like um, Wistfulness is one of the effects is drawing 2 cards, discarding card. So draw 2, discard 1, draw 2, discard 1. The other one is exile artifact or enchantment, and then Deceit is the discard 1. And it's just elementals can get really nuts. I think elementals is going to be a really good deck. So the price of elemental cards have went up a little bit. So all of you modern players or commander players out there, if you have the land that comes in tapped unless you reveal an elemental card, I'm sure that card has went up in price. Like I said, Roaming Thrones went up in price. There's a 1-drop elemental. I can't remember. I used to play an Animar. It's went up in price. So elementals are really good. The 5-color elemental deck is also really good. So keep your eye open for that. People that care about prices. 5-color rhythm. This was my number 1 or number 2 deck I was looking for the top 8. You know me, 5-color decks, complicated decks, toolbox decks. I'm in there like swimwear. This plays cards like Craterhoof Behemoth, Quantum Riddler, Superior Spider-Man, which ironically is in my newest modern deck, 1 copy. Champion of the Weird, Bright Glass Gearhulk, which can get you a artifact, creature, and or enchantment with mana value 1 or less. Put it into play. Into your hand, sorry. Put it in your hand. And like Formidable Speaker tutors, and like there's just any toolbox effect you want, and obviously the sideboard can go with that. Really good card. I'm a big fan of Bright Glass Gearhulk. I lied. Sorry. There's 2 Dimir Excruciator decks. Sorry. Is it Lessons? We know how that works. Grand, my favorite avatar card. The old lady gets in there. Still a good deck. Still too complicated for my liking. So many triggers. It's so easy to forget something, and I definitely do not want to play it, but it is another very good deck. Bant Airbending has an infinite combo with, if you have Doc Urlock, Appa, and Aang at the Crossroads, you can do infinite stuff, make infinite Anket's 1/1 allies. So great to see such a diverse metagame. Day 1 was diverse, day 2 was diverse. And I'm always a big rogue guy. Like, don't get me wrong, I pay attention to the best deck. I like playing the best decks, but I like playing rogue decks. That's why I'm always happy when you guys played modern. You come to me, well, kind of want to build this. And me and Skaggs went to work on the 5-color Bring to Light a Mizzet deck, and then Skaggs like, hey man, I want to make people have a miserable day, so let's do a surgical extraction deck. I'm on it, man. So to see the other category have such a big percent of the metagame is really cool to see. And obviously, don't get me wrong, like I'm sure some of it's like you had a 5-color rhythm deck and you had Simic Rhythm. I'm sure some of that might be Teamer Rhythm or something like that. But what do you think about this top 8 Q? I know we've been talking about Magic for a minute now. All different decks except for 2 Dimir Cruciator decks, which ironically is what won the Pro Tour.
And I like the diversity. That's about all I'm worried about in the pro tournament, really. In the Magic in particular, that's all I want to see. As long as we don't continue the silly, everybody has to play the same deck because we made 2 cards that are just so strong that you're not going to win regardless. I really like the Lorwyn set, and I hope they continue to make Magic-based sets like that more often so that the game continues to thrive.
And something else to keep in mind for all the people out there that are listening, stuff like this is planned like I think 2 years ahead of time. I think is kind of like an average, give or take, or whatever. So like I would say they probably knew all these sets were coming out this year, probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So like, change can't be done overnight, so to speak, but they can learn from what happened. Spider-Man was not a good selling set. It has a couple okay cards, couple good cards, but like Spider-Man didn't sell well. Um, although Final Fantasy did sell really well, it's the highest selling Magic set of all time, just with the pre-sales alone, which will skew, I'm sure, some of the people's viewpoints at Wizards of the Coast. But there's a lot of sets that aren't going to sell well, won't sell well. So hopefully they will keep that in mind, because Hasbro CEO Chris Cox, as well as former Wizard of the Coast president, I forget what her name is, are being sued by shareholders for I think Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro or whatever the case may be. Probably Hasbro. It makes sense. Hasbro shareholders are suing them for fancy legal jargon. Me, Andy, and Dominique were talking about last night. I don't know if it'll hold up in court, but see if I can find it real quick. Um, So if we were to see Wizards of the Coast make the change to go back to more normal Magic sex, I said sex, more Magic the Gathering sets. It's something you probably wouldn't get to see till like next year or the year after if they're basing results off current sets. And like I said, Final Fantasy sold well, Lord of the Rings sold well, Spider-Man did not. I don't think Ninja Turtles, for all you Ninja Turtle fans out there, I don't think that is going to sell well. And then I'm not a Trekkie. I'm sure the fan
That's gonna
base.
sell awful.
I'm sure the fan base out there is going to, back it up quite a bit, but I don't think it's going to sell well. So
There's a clear like disconnect whenever it's like me and Q are split in like I we're kind of on the same page, but we're also at a disconnect on like I think Final Fantasy was fine. Fallout I think was okay. But like any of the ones that you can look to and be like, hey, these seem super fucking out of place and I don't like it, they don't sell well. And most people try to use as little amount of cards from those sets as possible. So, I mean, they just start picking IPs or be done with it that's going to fit the Magic scene more, because there's definitely some. Like, honestly, if they did like instead of just a secret layer for Monster Hunter, if they did a full set, I'd buy into that bitch instantly.
Yeah. Now, to go back to what you said earlier, if they did all these sets with abilities and things that already existed in the game, and you could more easily sock those random cards into decks, I think people would be more apt to use them. But when you make something like Rads, and all of the cards that help you do Rad stuff, besides like I think that's why Mothman in particular does so good in that set, is because he makes hella Rads and you just have to proliferate them because they're a counter. So there's plenty of decks that are already proliferating things, so you just move him, he puzzle pieces in for another card. But even still, say you didn't want to build Mothman, it's hard to put the other cards from that set in. It's hard to put any cards in where they don't mesh well with the rest of how many years of Magic are we at now, Chris?
93.
93 years of Magic?
No, I'm saying came out in 93, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, 23.
So,
oh wait, no.
No,
33.
32. Yeah.
But either way, I like dog meat from that set. Dog meat slots right into stuff, and there's a few of them that do. But it's the like, why do rad counters? Just do like poison counters or something like that,
Exactly,
and be done with it. Like I get it, you're trying
flavored.
to.
Make a poison counter that looks like a Geiger counter going off the
I'm
rails
gonna
or
give you.
something. You know.
I'm gonna give you the tech out there for Mothman fans. I'm gonna give you the tech for your Mothman decks. Q should know this card very well because it's the Scarecrow. So what you're gonna do, Mothman people out there, is you're gonna slot Painter's Servant into your Mothman decks. What Painter's Servant does, as it comes into play, name a color. All cards, everywhere, hand, decks, whatever, are the chosen color in addition to their current color. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna slot that Scarecrow Painter Servant into your Mothman decks, and you're gonna make your friends have a very bad time. You know why? Because Mothman gets bigger for stuff milled to your graveyard, right, guys out there? So what you're gonna do is you're also gonna slot Grindstone into that Mothman deck. What you're gonna do is you're gonna activate Grindstone. What Grindstone does is target player mills 2 cards. If they share a color, they repeat the process. So what do you think that does? They share a color, you mill 2 more. They share a color, you mill 2 more because of Painter Service. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna make this Mothman really fucking big, and you're gonna attack. I've not shared this tech with my fellow I'm not a fellow Mothman, but Byron out there. I know you fucking like Mothman, but there's a secret tech. I revealed it on the podcast. The only way you're going to get it, Byron, is by watching the podcast. So that's my Mothman tech for the day. But I
So
want to congratulate Wizard of the Coast, though, for bringing one thing back that I think is very integral for new people, and that is like, I don't want to say starter decks because that's just the first word that comes to mind, but they have decks that people can open and play that are more simplified than just going out and paying for Dimir Excruciator or paying for Teamer Harmonizer, stuff like that. So I was always a big fan of the standard decks. They even did it a while back. They had Pioneer decks when Pioneer was really popular. You could buy a Pioneer deck straight out of the box and play it. So I do want to congratulate them. But sorry for interrupting. I just want to throw out that Mothman tech out there.
well, real quick question. So how do you stop it?
Stop what?
Because uh Painter Servant with Grindstone, it pretty much makes an infinite mill, right?
Until they run out of cards in their deck.
Yeah. Don't they lose at that point?
No,
Because they
because they
have
have to
to.
draw. You don't lose until you actually draw a card. They're never going to draw a card until they draw step.
Okay. Well,
But essentially, if it's us 3 playing and Q grindstones you, you're going to lose on your draw step. He's going to attack me with the big ass Mothman that I'm probably not going to be able to block. And essentially win the game.
okay.
I'm just going to force Byron to watch the whole podcast, though. So
Yeah.
as for
Byron.
the, I did find the lawsuit now. So Chris Cox, CEO of Hasbro, as well as some other people, are being sued for breach of fiduciary duty, fiduciary duty, which means
Judy.
failing to act in the best interest of the company and its shareholders, which is illegal. Securities Exchange Act's violations, specifically violating sections 10B, 20A, section rule 10B5 by making materially false and misleading statements regarding the company's financial health, unjust enrichment, which is profiting unfairly at the expense of company or shareholders, waste of corporate assets, mishandling company resources, such as alleged destruction of unsold inventory, which we all know about all the Magic 30th anniversaries, the proxy cards, whatever, that were $1,000, ending up in landfills and stuff like that. And they're also being sued for gross mismanagement and abuse of control, general failure to provide proper oversight of the brand. And like this thing goes on like an alleged internal practice of parachuting in, rapidly producing Magic the Gathering sets, often reprints to generate quick cash, plug revenue gaps when other Hasbro divisions underperform, which lots of Hasbro divisions underperform. Hasbro's public justification for high release volume, claiming they were printing products for new consumer segments rather than oversupplying the market. Artificially inflated prices. Shareholders claim that the parachuting strategy temporarily pumped Hasbro stock value, leading the company to overpay by roughly $55.9 million during share repurchases. A legal team used by plaintiffs to justify why they sued directly without first asking the board to take action, claiming the board was not disinterested enough to be impartial. And like it just goes into details about all this crazy different stuff. So we all know that we all know about the landfill stories. I've seen pictures, it's true. So what do you think about this lawsuit?
I'm with them in that I don't think the lawsuit's gonna stick because it all comes down to them having to throw up their hands and be like, I thought it was the best thing for the company at the time. And I think over half of those don't stick. A mismanagement of company property and like getting rid of and throwing the cards in the landfill. Okay, I can kind of see that sticking, but I think they can also at the same time be like, hey, this did not sell well and was just keeping us from being able to store the stuff that was selling. So that was the best thing that we could do, was to just throw it in a landfill. So that's kind of where my thought is on it. I don't think anything is going to actually come of it. I think they're going to drag it's going to get dragged out, and at best that person resigns as like a, we settle this out of court. You don't have to pay for all the legal fees for 3 years that you're going to get bled dry from the shareholders, and you step aside and let somebody else take over. And as Magic players, we just sit here, we hope, we pray that those fools are better than them.
One thing of note that I've seen over the past few years is as Wizards of the Coast is trying to correct different paths and stuff that hasn't worked out, like fixing the Pro Tour, which is a big thanks to Huey William Jensen, Hall of Famer, that was a Magic player for a long time, and that's why we started getting these different Pro Tour events and stuff like that, the Spotlight Series. Then we got Cedric Phillips, one of my favorite Magic announcers all time. He used to play Magic as well, announced for many years for Star City Games, worked with Star City Games for a long time. He also has a prominent position at Wizards of the Coast. So we're seeing a lot of these people over the years that played the game, loved the game, been in Magic, not just the suit and tie people that are numbers, are starting to get different positions. And like, I'm not saying like board members and all that, like they're not getting those positions per se, but however, they're getting prominent positions within Wizards of the Coast, play design, uh, set stuff, marketing, the stuff like that. So like I said, we got to see the return of the Pro Tour, all these events that Huey Jensen is doing. I don't know what Cedric Phillips actually got for his position, but it's a prominent position. I've seen him posting on Twitter that they had more positions open at Wizard of the Coast to message him. So I actually messaged him. I didn't get a response, unfortunately, but I did message him to see what the information was. Who knows? Maybe I'll quit my job, go work for Wizard of the Coast.
Please
But
do go fix it.
I'm making no promises, man. It's gonna be a set full of nothing but secret lair kiki jikis. So we'll see what happens.
I'm happy with that. Fix that Monster Hunter secret lair while you're there, so I can get my.
They're doing it. They're doing it. They came out and they said.
I know they said they were doing it, but they got to fix it first, and then they can release it.
That's true.
But seeing people that know the game, have been a part of the game for such a long time, start working, I'm hopeful that better things will happen in the future.
Yeah, I hope that this lawsuit does start to show that, like, because we've always said like, hey, you got to kind of vote for your with your wallet and everything, but They've added
You froze
such.
for a second.
I love that face that you have there, though. Oh, that's getting screenshot. Um, but we've always, the thing's always been vote with your wallet and everything, and I think,
Always.
I think for a good long while, all of us kind of have, and we literally will only buy singles, the small amount of singles that we want from a set. Final Fantasy, I did love that set. So there's probably where my bias of against Q also comes in. But it was followed by two Universe Beyond sets, or is followed by two Universe Beyond sets that are going to sell awful. The Spider-Man one, Avatar sold pretty decently, and then the Turtles are gonna sell awful, and Star Trek are gonna sell awful. I can
What
almost.
exactly was your favorite part about the whatever set you just said that you really liked?
Final Fantasy.
The Final Fantasy set.
So the reason why Final One, I like the design of most of the cards. I thought a lot of the cards were pretty cool, but a lot of the cards were also kind of geared toward like how I like to play, and they involved equipment, and they had a bunch of warriors in it as well. Which warriors being one of my uh favorite type of cards. So it, like I said, there is a bias there, but I also think that even if you take the bias away, I do think that the world of Final Fantasy, after, and I'll say it with this as well. Ever since we went to Neon Dynasty, I think that the Final Fantasy world can fit in Magic pretty well. Because I don't.
Yeah, I think that every world that even Ninja Turtles, I think they could all fit in Final Fan or in
They
the
just need
Magic
to make a
world.
bridge.
They have no bridge. This is literally like this is what it would look like if we made up Ninja Turtles. This is what it would look like if we made up Final Fantasy. And it's like I don't want that. I want to play Magic the Gathering.
I want Loot and
Like you said.
Raph. I want Loot and
Yes.
Raph to be running around. You know what? Hey, you can save the Ninja Turtle fucking set by making a Loot and Raph tag team card right now. Magic. People,
Yes.
I will buy it.
Yes.
You
But
might be able to play a standard deck with Loot and Raph, because I'm pretty sure the Ninja Turtle set's standard legal.
but either way, I do think that if they were to make it, treat it like another plane where like Jay, Chandra, Gideon, Ajani, Luke, whoever ends up going to like these realms, and they end up in there, because that's actually kind of the cool part about Magic is you can planeswalk, you can go anywhere, but I don't know, it's just they do a very terrible job at trying to bridge the gap for the people that care about like the flavor, and for people who care about like the mechanics of everything. Stop doing special stuff for each one. Do overall themes, kind of like they did in Final Fantasy. A lot of equipment, a lot of equipment, a lot of equipment based creatures and stuff like that. I don't remember a special mechanic in the Final Fantasy one, but that could just be
Yeah,
me.
I don't think that there necessarily was. But the other thing I didn't like about the Final Fantasy one was they were like, we're not giving you a special mechanic. You have to buy 7 million packs and try to get a golden chocobo. Because wasn't that so fun when everybody spent all their money on the Lord of the Rings set to try to get the One Ring? Wasn't that so fun?
You know what? I will stand with you on business on that. I hate we only made 10 of these cards. Go chase them. And
I think it's
I
fun.
don't know if I hate it. I don't know if I hate that more or if I hate the culture of everything nowadays more, because it makes it kind of, I don't know, the hype chasing, and then so something that was going to be like $20 a pack for a collector's pack is now $100 to get a hold of one pack. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I think I hate that more than the actual them doing it, but I still don't like them doing it because they know what's going to happen in the end
that's
of
why
everything.
they're doing it.
But that's what I'm saying is like, I hate both of them, but I think I hate the actual like hyping everything up and like hiking the prices up and everything more than the actual putting it in. But at the same time, they know what's going to happen, so I don't know which one I really hate more, or if I just
Yeah.
hate them both same.
I think ultimately it falls onto the person who creates the product and creates the thing for you is totally in charge of how all of that. It's like the awful job that Pokemon's been doing with their vending machine upkeep and everything. You can blame the scalpers all you want, but when they have to figure out how to vandalize a machine to steal Pokemon cards from little kids so that they can get the maximum amount of Pokemon cards out of it, you made a no person involved machine try to take care of that problem for you. We can't be mad at people for overcoming the obstacle of getting the Pokemon cards by unplugging the machines and gluing the buttons and messing up the screens and trying to remove all the accessibility features and stuff off of the machines because
I don't know.
you are creating a product that is not. They want to blow the bottom out of the secondary markets, make a bunch of it. Put a Charizard in every pack for 3 sets where nobody.
There's a gold, a whiteout, or a blackout, and every booster box you just gotta go get a booster box.
You go get a booster box, and then everybody's got one. Nobody cares. Tens don't matter because they already don't fucking matter. I don't care what anybody says. There's 75 companies giving out tens all day long. You blow the bottom out of the market by doing that for 3 sets, and then come back and be like, hey, now that everybody has gone back to trading crypto and making PDF files that are serialized in some way that they can trade them like cryptocurrency, we can have card games back in a reasonable. My camera is getting crazy, dude. In a reasonable way that doesn't feel. I mean, like you can't even go to. Skaggs and I have tried to go to 2 or 3 different like Pokemon events now, and to just look at cards and to hang out and see other people, and it's literally people looking down at their own binders, not talking to anybody else, just trying to buy. Do you have any of the new set? Do you have I want to buy booster boxes. I want to buy packs. I want to buy shit that I can resell online because that's what I'm here for. Not ever so often you hear somebody that's like, I'm trying to complete my collection. I walked up to a guy and got, where is it? It's on my desk somewhere. The Dragonite, the mail carrier Dragonite with the WB stamp on it. I'm like, I've been looking for that Dragonite. That's one of the Dragonites that I don't have. And he's like, hey, man, if it's to complete your collection, it's kind of beat up anyway. Here's $30 off. I paid like $20 for it or something. But it was solely because I'm sure that day the only homie that walked up to him was like, I'm trying to complete a set, or I'm trying to, I'm just collecting fun cards. I was probably one of the few people that walked up for that and wasn't asking about the $400 Charizard.
Well, not only that, I picked this one up at the same spot for
Yeah.
$23. And homie was like, "Man, I marked that down just so I could get rid of it." He's like, "I just want it gone. Nobody wants it." But the
I know I took us way off of the magic tangent, but
Oh, it's all right.
it's all connected. It's all a TCG, man. It's all a TCG, and they're all doing the same shit. They're all
yep.
just trying to drain everybody for as much money as they possibly can, and they're doing it in super scummy ways. Like, and they're not putting effort into it either. And
Because they don't care.
yeah, I mean they definitely don't, because like, when's the last time I mean, it's been a while since I've really gotten a decent Flygon. I mean, outside of the Nido King that just came out and Giovanni's Nido King, I couldn't tell you the what was it? The fucking break?
Yep.
No, it was 151, and then it was the break.
Yep.
So very, very low amount of like Nido Kings to happen. But hey, fuck, where's your Tyrantrum, brother?
Well, it's funny that you bring that up because just recently they released a Tyrant as a box top. It's a full art Tyrant, which I'm assuming is going to have a full art Tyrantrum with it. I'll see if I can pull it up and find it. So I have hope, but that's only because ZA, I think you can get him in ZA.
Yeah, you can. Okay. Uh,
But with that Tyrant, if they do a cool Tyrantrum,
that's cool
including
artwork too.
yeah, including those two cards, there would be a total of six or eight Tyrant and Tyrantrum cards that exist.
Yeah, and Tyrant and Tyrantrum are such cool fucking mons.
Yep.
And you're telling me they only get that many? No,
Yep.
fuck off. You don't. You only care about putting Charizards and Eevees out, and that's all you give a shit about. And nobody, I dare anybody to try and go against that, because it's such an easy thing to show. They
Yep.
do not give a fuck about anything but those.
Yep. But to stay on the Pokemon topic, if you don't have another one, Chris, I did find all the information.
I have more. I have another topic, but go ahead. Oh, we can keep talking about Pokemon.
Chris is
So
just loving us going on rant style.
since we're back on it, 3 days ago, Pokemon put out a video called hashtag Pokemon 30 teaser trailer. And then it had a date for tomorrow. It is the 8th. So I've heard quite a few stirrings that we're getting new megas for ZA. They're going to release another batch of new megas in the teaser trailer. I've heard Gen 10 is not only getting announced, but we may get to see the starters. Um,
Oh, that's
and then
tomorrow
other
for the Super Bowl. They have a Super Bowl commercial
Super Bowl's
spot.
next week.
No, it's tomorrow.
The Super Bowl is?
Yeah.
I thought it was on the 15th.
No, it's tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well,
They have a spot. I seen.
they have
That's
a
how I figured.
spot in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, they have a
Oh,
commercial
shit.
spot. That's how I figured out that the Super Bowl was tomorrow. Was
Okay.
because I seen their announcement. They had a Clefairy jumping around. And it was like 30th anniversary. Pokemon has a spot for the Super Bowl, and I'm like,
Okay. Okay. So, I guess then everything that I've been hearing is there must be a direct coming up soon or something. They're going to do some kind of event. But I'm hoping,
I'm looking
wouldn't it be
up.
crazy to drop Gen 10 on the Super Bowl commercial?
Yes.
And Chris, to put more into your um, the Pokemon, what's it called, Wind and Waves?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people start talking about all those leaks that you showed me fucking weeks ago. Now they're becoming mainstream, and everybody's talking about them a lot. And they're talking about those Pikachu designs, and they found more from what I've seen. So it's going to be what we've always talked about, Skags. Variant size and appearance variances in different Pokemon. So your Pokemon are literally like
One of a
kind
kind.
of custom to you. I don't know that they'll necessarily go to one of a kind because that creates a secondary market that I don't think they want to fuck with, and a modding market that I don't think they want
But
to fuck with.
you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to necessarily be looks, but like you can catch one that's got like I can catch a Nidoking that has like a dual like split horn or something with like
Yes, yeah,
long
more stuff like
claws,
that.
and then like the stats make it like a
Yeah,
one of one type deal.
yep, more stuff like that for sure. So
Yeah,
that'll be cool. Give us fat Pikachu, give us skinny Pikachu. There's people on both sides of that coin.
yeah. A
I'm gonna
fat
need I'm gonna
Pikachu.
need some Pokemon champions, or I'm gonna need some of that news too. If
Oh yeah.
you're gonna talk
I'm
about Gen 10, I'm gonna need some of the multiplayer news for the competitive game, the
Yeah.
VCG too.
I'm seeing February 27th.
27th in a month or in 20 days.
Yep,
Uh,
for the next Pokemon Direct,
okay. That's okay. I can wait.
which I mean, kind of makes sense. Tease us on something on Super Bowl day, and then let us stew on it for 19 days, and then show us more.
Super Bowl predictions. Let's hear them.
Seahawks.
Patriots, since Bill Belichick didn't become a first ballot Hall of Famer for extra drama.
No, I'm just gonna say Seahawks. Who are you gonna go, Q?
I struggle with picking because Jesus Christ. What in the world is my camera doing, dude?
It's just giving you action shots, brother. Action back
Turn that
shots.
stuff off. Okay, should be good. I feel bad about picking because every time I publicly announce I'm picking someone, even if they're like, even if this was like, I don't know how the Patriots got in here because the Seahawks literally didn't lose a game. I could be like, yeah, dude, the Seahawks are fucking winning that shit. And they would like come out and a meteor would hit and they would just still call it
So
for the
just pick the
Patriots.
Patriots for me.
I'm going to flip a coin so you guys can't yell at me. I don't even have a coin with me. I'm going to roll a dice. Odds or evens, Skags. This is for me picking the. If it lands on yours, I'm picking your team.
Evens.
I'm gonna
But
turn the action shot back on. Come down here. I'm gonna pick this dice up. It's a 1 on my Blackhawks dice, so I'm going Patriots.
terrible. Terrible.
I don't want them to win, but I think it's going to be just a weird miracle because there's big drama around Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer as a coach, which, in my personal opinion, as much as I don't like the Patriots, I believe he should. He's probably the second
Yeah,
best coach of all time.
yeah, that is kind of weird.
Behind Phil
Although,
Jackson. Phil Jackson's who I think is the best coach of all time. But
oh, to be fair, he did have Tom Brady for the majority of his run, his stellar run, and you were gonna win regardless with him. He proved it by going down south and then winning a Super Bowl as well.
to
But
be fair, Tom Brady wasn't a first round pick. He was uh, picked up super late and waited for his opportunity. Drew Bledsoe got hurt, and he just took advantage of it. So, moving on. Always try to find something interesting for us to talk about on the podcast. So, if you've listened to our podcast before, you know we're all anime fans here. We like a plethora of different animes. So, what I wanted to do before we get to our comparison to end the show is I wanted each of us to
What's the
name
comparison
5
again?
anime. The comparison is it is would you survive in the Fallout Wasteland, and what faction would you lean towards being a part of?
Okay.
So what I want to do is we'll each do one at a time to make it fair. 5 anime we think people should watch. And what I want to do is try to pick like 3 unique ones, then like obviously you can throw out like a couple mainstream ones. So starting with me, I'm going to pick and name Log Horizon. I wrote an article a long time ago about 5 anime that were based on like like not based on video games, but like a video game theme that were you should watch. Log Horizon is an I'll never say this word right. Isekai fantasy anime light novel series where 30,000 Japanese gamers become trapped inside an MMORPG. Ironically, if you know how much I love SAO, this is right up my alley. The MMO Elder Tales, after a game update, focused on strategy, politics, and survival. The story follows strategist Shiro and his friends as they navigate the now real world, rebuilding society and uncovering the mysteries of this new reality. You guys can go next for whatever you want to pick.
Do it, Skeggs. Take it from me.
What was the prompt again?
5
We're each
animes you
picking 5
think.
anime that we think people should watch and try to make like 3 relatively like mainstream animes, because obviously we could name Naruto, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon stuff like that.
I wouldn't tell anybody they needed to watch that shit anyways. Um. Okay. I'm gonna do one that's not gonna take anything from you, Q. Revengers.
I've never
Okay.
heard of that one.
Revengers is about
Very.
I guess it's kind of like an assassin guild that's a part of the church, and uh, this guy kind of wakes up with like little to no memory of like what's happened, like short term memory type deal, and he's being chased by them, and then he ends up joining them, and like everybody's super cool. It operates on a system. It's not like a money system or anything. So you got to get these gold coins, and you have to bite into them. And biting into these gold coins is like signing a contract. Once you bitten into it, it's uh it's a done deal. You can't take it back, like at all type deal. And the characters are super cool in it. Like one of the guys you get to see like very early on in the first episode, he doesn't use like swords, guns, or bows or anything like that. His way of assassinating people is with like almost like a gold filament. Like he slaps over people's faces and it adheres to their face, and it cuts off all the air supply, so they just suffocate and die. And like he'll slap it on them, and he's got the Saint Mary tattooed on his back. So while they're suffocating, he like exposes his back and he starts praying for like forgiveness for doing what he's doing, but he's doing it for and through the church, so he feels justified in it. And it's a really cool anime about corrupted churches and stuff like that.
All right, your turn, Q. What one do
Blood
you got for us?
Blockade Battlefront.
Never heard of that either.
It's my absolute favorite anime that I've ever watched. I mean, besides the big ones, JJK and
Yeah.
all of them, they're obviously made, but this is like one that I just found and started watching, and I love it. It is a world where there's like another dimension that's like aliens and everything, and crashes into our reality, and so New York becomes this big like melting pot of aliens and humans, and everybody kind of coexists peacefully. But that rift opening up, like, changed the whole world. So now there's like magic and ghosts and big crazy aliens, and you follow this kid who gets blessed by a god with the all-seeing eyes, and he joins a group of vampire hunters that use hemomancy powers to fight crime and vampires in this hyper futuristic New York City. It's sick as fuck.
I like it. I like it. I'm gonna keep that in mind. All right, my next one is Psychopaths. It is. I've mentioned it to you guys before in the past. It is kind of older ones from I think 2012ish, but a 2012 cyberpunk psychological thriller anime set in a 22nd century dystopian Japan where the AI-driven Sybil system constantly monitors citizens' mental states and crime potential. The psychopaths. It follows Inspector Kane Samori and Enforcer Shinya Kagome as they confront latent criminals, and uncover dark secrets about the system. I was actually told by someone to watch this when I did watch it. I'm like, I don't know, but like once you get past like I think the first episode, because TV shows, anime, or whatever, the first episode's always the introduction to what you are going to experience. Psychopaths is really good, and I know a lot of people are on the fence about anime in general just because they think anime, girls, big boobs. That's kind of what it is, but that's not the case. So, Psychopaths, definitely check that one out. All right, Skagsy, number
Staying
two.
on the assassin guild theme, a comic got kill. Everybody needs to know heartbreak, man. Everybody needs to know what a good fucking story is, not some fucking everybody's protected shit. What watch that and you'll see what it means to like actually know like a good story. And it's not just like cuz like I thought that way about what is was it Game of Thrones for a while. And like there's a few other shows until they just started like they were either killing off people just to kill them off and then uh like protecting the ones that would actually make more sense. This anime doesn't. It's about an assassin guild as well. Our main character is um going to the capital to try and make a bunch of money for his family back home. And when he gets there, he realizes that hey, this place is really corrupt, and there's this group of assassins that's trying to make it not corrupt. So, really good. Uh, highly recommend it.
My next one is called Memories. It's kind of cheating because it's a film, but it's three short stories that are just pieced together in a movie, and
If
it's
it's
that.
on Crunchyroll or anything like that, like I would
I
say I
think
would
it's on
count that.
Crunchyroll, yeah. But it's from 1995, so it's that really, really nice old, like even pre-Ghibli, like we're talking like Cowboy Bebop esque animation where everything is just looks so good. The um, the first story in it is called Magnetic Rose, and it's like set in space, and it gives me Akira vibes in the way that it's kind of like a sci-fi mixed with a psychological thriller a little bit. At least the first one is. There's one in the middle that's funny. It's about a guy who creates this. I don't remember exactly what it was, if it was like a drink or whatever, but he becomes like a walking stink bomb, and so like nobody can be around him, or it literally like kills people if he comes too close. So I think it's a little bit of a take on like the actual atomic bomb, but it just a guy running around the city like trying to fix himself and nobody can be around him. But the all three of them in memories are good.
Interesting. All right, my next one, my third one is Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. Now, I discovered this on accident, and this was, I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 years ago. Um, I've always wanted to dive in to Mobile Suit Gundam, and Mobile Suit Gundam goes back pretty far, but I didn't know
Yeah.
where to dive into. And for some reason, there's like one Mobile Suit anime on Netflix because at the time I didn't have Crunchyroll, and I had Funimation, but there wasn't anything on there or whatever. And this one popped up. Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans follows the exploits of a group of juvenile soldiers who established their own security company after rebelling against the adults who betrayed them on a futuristic terraform Mars. It series deals with real life problems such as war, slavery, child soldiers, poverty, neo-colonialism, and corruption. So, if you are a spacey type person or a Gundam fan and haven't discovered this one, Iron Blooded Orphans is definitely worth the checkout.
That I'll let you guys say whether or not this is too mainstream or not, because I haven't really seen a whole lot of people
I
gushing
said
about
like
it.
three old school ones, and like kind of two could be mainstream if you want them to be.
But Shangri-La Frontier, not a whole. I don't see anybody really giving it all too many flowers, but
I
it's just,
chose not to name this one just so you could.
the that homie's fucking. It's just a fun show to watch. Dude, homie plays. If you like Sword Art Online, it it's kind of like Sword Art Online, but you don't have to deal with the we're stuck in this game and we like the super high stakes of anything. You get to experience other games in this person's world as well. And our main character loves to play crappy games and break games and everything, so it's an insanely good watch. And not only that, banger intro.
Yes, I will give you that. Mine, in the same vein as yours, is kind of. I mean, it used to be mega mainstream. This was one of the standards, but I don't feel like it gets enough love anymore, and gets outshined by a lot of other animes of its time, which is Soul Eater.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think Soul Eater does not get the love that it used to anymore because there's a lot of other stories that have come out and a lot of other animes that have come out. And the vibe of what people are looking for in an anime, I think, has kind of changed. But, when
It's a little
Fairy
too
Tail,
slow paced
yeah,
nowadays.
yes, it is. But you want to talk about some of the tropes that you love in animes started in, if not in that show, in that same era of show. The art style, the fighting style, the things that people love about animes now are running because a Soul Eater had to walk and trudge
I
its way through.
see, and I think of it in a way of like the ones that came before Soul Eater were the ones that like were, I guess you could say, like crawling, like Inuyasha, Cowboy Bebop,
Yes.
Trigun, stuff like that. And Soul Eater refined that, and then that was the basis for like our dragon, our like our Naruto's, our Bleach, and everything like that. And then once we got into this newer stage, like I hate it, but I gotta give it its flowers. Demon Slayer, JJK, they refined it even more, and
Yep.
now we have what we have, and I think what we have is really good because it gives me solo level. I can't wait for more solo level.
Yep.
Anything based with video game themes or being trapped in a video game, yeah, you got me. I'm gonna watch it. If it's shit, I'm probably gonna watch the whole thing just because you never know. That next episode might be good. If the whole series is shit, you still got me because I'm trapped in a video game.
Okay.
What about number three
The
for you, Q?
Do what?
he did
Number
Soul
three.
Eater. It's you
Soul
Oh,
Eater.
next.
oh, I thought you were talking. Okay. Um,
No,
I'm
I
gonna
was giving
go
flowers.
also another old school one. This one's kind of slower. Shout out to my buddy Jacob Cook. Um, Trinity Blood. Trinity Blood is a 24 episode gothic sci fi anime from 2005 set in a post apocalyptic future focused on fragile, war torn stalemate between humans, known as Terrans, and vampires. I'm not going to even try to pronounce the word. The story follows Abel Nightroad, a clumsy yet formidable Vatican priest, and AX agent who protects this precarious peace, acting as a bridge between the two species while battling extremist faction like Ross and crew Orden. And a little insight is that Abel Nightroad, the clumsy, formidable Vatican priest they're talking about, that is the bridge or whatever, he's also a vampire that goes back and forth, and he's a vampire hunting vampire,
He's
which is
Alucard.
kind of yeah, essentially, but
That
definitely
this is
check.
actually on my watch list.
The first couple episodes are kind of slower, but definitely check. It's worth it.
Okay. Um, my next one is going to be Fate Stay Night. I think I think Fate Stay Night is a great anime that is. The world is super confusing, and a lot of people uh, are right in saying that it is confusing, but a lot of the building blocks is off of Fate Stay Night. Like that's where everything kind of spurs from, and a lot of the movies and shows, not all of them, but it that one's a really good one. But if you really like history or like tournament style arcs in anime, then you'll really enjoy that. I know a lot of people will turn their nose to that, but give it a chance.
Next one is Full Metal. Since now we're doing, it's my fourth one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do
Yeah.
mainstream. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist. For those who didn't know what it was by me just saying Full Metal,
Which
absolutely
one?
must
Regular or
watch.
Brotherhood?
Yeah. Which
Brotherhood.
one?
I mean,
Okay.
watch them both if you're not a coward, but Brotherhood.
I about spit it out. That's funny.
Um, yeah, I mean, if you haven't heard of Full Metal Alchemist, I'm not even going to sit here and explain it to you. Look up Full Metal Alchemist, and then while you're looking it up and reading about it, just hit play on the first episode and continue to watch it. It's necessary.
Great storytelling as well. Mm.
I decided to not go any mainstream anime and
Okay.
hit another one that's off the beaten path. I think some people might have seen it. My fifth and final one is Handyman Saito in Another World. You guys ever heard of that one?
No, but I'm glad you're going with this one.
I was gonna say Doctor Stone, but I opted to not say Doctor Stone for my fifth one. But Handyman Saito Another World is a fantasy comedy series about a mundane handyman, Saito, who's reincarnated into a fantasy world. Unlike typical overpowered protagonists, which are in every anime,
Yeah.
Saito relies on his real world skills like fixing equipment, picking locks, cleaning, and surprisingly strategic thinking to support a team of eccentric adventurers become an essential valued member of the party through his real life skills. It is fucking hilarious.
Okay. And this is why I'm glad that you went with that one because my next one is one that Quentin hates with his whole soul. A dragon goes house hunting.
I don't hate it with my whole soul. Just the premise is strange. Watch a cooking anime.
No, this is so much better than a cooking anime. It's great. But it's an anime that follows a dragon. He's such a weak dragon that his parents kick him out of the dragon den and say that he's got to go live somewhere else. He's got to go find somewhere else to live, and he ends up coming across a powerful elf that is a real estate agent and goes around and shows him a bunch of layers. But the real cool part is like these layers aren't just these homes and everything aren't just like normal homes or whatever. Like he takes him to like spooky like haunted castles and everything to like prevent uh adventurers from getting to him and anything like that. Or there's a cave with like blob monsters. Like it's a super cool bit. It's a super cool idea. I feel like, but it's it's an anime that you're gonna want to watch if you just want like a giggle or you just want something in the background. Like it's nothing that's gonna have you sitting on the edge of your seat or anything. Because like that's how me and my girlfriend have watched it. Like she watched it while she was at work, gave her a bunch of giggles and laughs. I watched it while I was playing games. It gave me a bunch of giggles and laughs. Like it's got its place. It's just not an anime that you're gonna watch and be like, I wonder what's gonna happen next. No, this dragon's a scaredy ass cat, and it's great.
Now, if you do want an anime that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat, you should watch. And, I think everybody probably thought I was going to say JJK or something right here. I think
I'd redact that.
one that everyone should watch is Delicious in Dungeon.
Hey,
It
boy,
Never heard of
is
that one
a
either.
it is on
what?
Netflix. So if you've got Netflix, you should start watching it today. It is a perfect. I've never seen it done any better. And if somebody else has, tell me because I will watch the shit out of whatever anime that is. But it's the perfect mix of a combat fighting, high fantasy, cooking. It's like all of the big things that anime does, but it never does them all at the same time. You either have a cooking anime or a fantasy anime or a
I
fighting
lied.
anime.
I've actually watched. I think I watched the first 2 episodes because that was all that was out when I did watch it. But I have watched
Hell
the
yeah.
first 2 episodes. Okay.
So premise of the show is adventurers can go into this dungeon and they're trying to fight their way through. There is an ancient treasure, or somebody gets to control the dungeon. It's been a minute since I've watched it, but basically, you can die in the dungeon, and somebody can come and get you, and they revive you. So it's not like permadeath. Your soul stays in the dungeon. You can be put back in your body, and an adventuring group gets really deep. They fight this dragon, and the dragon kills his sister. Well, they find out that if the monsters like eat your body, your soul can't be put back into nothing, so you actually do die. So his sister gets eaten by the dragon, and they get start back out at the outside. He has no money, they have no gear, they have no anything. And so he's like, "Well, I'm gonna have to like go down in this dungeon. I only have so many days before my sister's fully digested, and we can't save her. So I'm going back in." So him and his ragtag group go back in, and no, they have their swords and their magic and everything else, but they have no food, which is kind of a big part of the dungeon because it's kind of taboo to eat monsters in this world. So their idea is they're going to hunt and kill monsters in the dungeon and eat them to keep themselves satiated so that they can make it into the dungeon in enough time.
Yeah,
It's a
it's a
fantastic
solid
anime.
one.
I love it.
Real quick honorable mention: Assassination Classroom.
Ooh, fuck! I might put Assassination. Yeah, that's my big
I
honorable
didn't
mention.
forget about it. I just didn't mention it. Oh, since we're gonna do an honorable mention, uh, definitely watch Doctor Stone. It's one Q put me on to. People get trapped in stone for many years, and essentially when they thaw out from the stone, you got to rebuild society through discovering of certain inventions and stuff over time. I never watched all of it, but it's definitely worth an honorable mention.
But
They're lucky that the main character knows everything about everything.
yeah,
Honorable mention Q.
I'm giving it to Assassination Classroom too. It actually probably
Uh,
should have been on my list, but
yeah, same. But
As we close out the pod, we have Q's comparison for last show, and Q always picks unique ones. Q's uh, comparison style thing is: would you survive in the Fallout Wasteland? And what faction would you lean towards? It was pretty easy for Skaggs. Immediately labeled him as a raider. Um, Automatically, I think Skaggs would be pretty good. I just look to people's opinions of like Skaggs, like the first magic photo we took, Skaggs in the corner with his arms crossed, and they're like, "Is that guy the team's enforcer or something?" So Skaggs would
no one
just be
just
the
resting
perfect
bitch
raider.
face.
He could thrive in that type of climate through multiple avenues, make multiple uh, caps off being just a bodyguard or anything like that. So he'd do pretty good. Q, I couldn't decide between two. Q, I went with either the Brotherhood of Steel, which we all know is well known throughout the wasteland, reclusive, secretive, but joining the Brotherhood is the way you obtain power armor. And I figured Q would be someone that would want to fucking walk around in some fucking power armor. The other thing I picked was Caravan Merchant. Uh, you have Crimson Caravan, Fargo Traders, and Water Merchants, three of the largest caravan houses that dominate the wasteland commerce. Together, they control the hub through the hub central council and the hub police. Um, I don't know. I just always view Q as a people person, and if you're a merchant, you kind of got to be a people person. So I figured that would be best for Q. And then as for myself, I couldn't decide. So the one I thought if I was in a Fallout scenario that I would also thrive in a wasteland. Um, I think I could also thrive in a vault system that actually worked, even though none of the vault systems ever actually work. But I picked the underground, the largest criminal organization in New California, led by Decker, seeking to establish control of commercial interests. So I'm trying to control Q to make me some money in the wasteland. The Friendly Lending Company is a front for loan sharking operations, operating entirely legally. All right, what about you guys?
I put Chris, you could could survive in the wasteland, but you would be a vault dweller. So unaccustomed to the wasteland. But ultimately with your vault dweller skills and your not totally irradiated bones and body and everything else, you'd probably be able to make it by. There's enough civilization left that you could probably make it. Skags, 100% surviving in the wasteland. I didn't put you as a raider. I did put you as Brotherhood of Steel for power armor purposes. For me, I would survive, I think, but I'm going fully down the mutant tree. I think flip a coin if it's gonna be a super mutant or a ghoul. Or even one of those what are they called? The Cerberus or whatever? The freaky like guys that crawl around. What are those things
No,
called?
yes, yes. The tentacle mouth.
Yeah. In
Ugh.
one way or another I'm getting mutated into some kind of freak. God damn it. I got to quit
You
talking with my hands.
you go down that way. I gotta blast your tentacles off, brother. I hate those so much. Those are the worst things in all of Fallout.
Yeah, those things are freaks.
Um, Chris, I chose as a Brotherhood of Steel person. Um, I do think he'd be able to survive. You, Q, I was actually going to make you a ghoul caravan person
Yep.
because you can be kind of grumpy. So it's always the ghoul that's the grumpy person
Well,
whenever
yeah.
which is fair enough. But you're grumpy and nobody wants to go to you, but you always got good shit. So it makes the most sense for me. And I would do probably NCR for myself because I don't necessarily know if I want to walk around in power armor. It sounds fucking taxing, but I do be loving the get up for the NCR.
Hell yeah. NCR is
Not too
another
bad,
good one.
not too bad.
Although
All right,
I don't
Skag.
think I'd want to be in California in that deserty bullshit. I'd want to come back up northeast.
Yep.
Fallout Shelbyville. That's the next game.
Ha!
What is your
You can go to
comparison,
the public
Skags, for the next
library.
show? That is all. It is your turn, sir.
What's that?
What is your comparison for the next episode, sir?
Didn't even think about all that much. Okay. All right. We this is gonna be a little out of our normal space then. To tie it into a little bit of one of my favorite animes, Fate. Everybody in Fate, you get to bring back a legend from history. Whether it can be anybody from William Shakespeare to fucking Vlad Dracula. Who would be brought back as who? Like, what is a legendary person in uh, history that you think the other one would be brought back as?
Okay.
And if you feel extra spicy, they all have noble phantasms, which is like their ultimate power, and it ties to what they've done in their life and like what they can do and use it as. So like uh Arthur Pendragon that gets Excalibur and everything just is a big fuck off smash. It's an anti bunker thing. But
So, do we have to stay within the confines of the heroes we've seen in the show, or can we pick?
nope.
Okay, you can pick anybody. Okay, I
Anybody in
really like that
reality.
one.
But the thing is, if you think of somebody and go to and look it up, like Fate, whoever it is, there's a good chance that they might have somebody. So you might still be
Okay,
able to tie it. But yeah,
I
they
like
have
that one.
anywhere from like gods to just regular people.
Fuck yes.
I was
So,
just gonna pick Caster right off the top, but got some got some thinking to do. I'm a Caster fan.
but it's got to be the specific. It's got to be the person.
Yeah, I know.
So, William William Shakespeare for my boy. Be out there just telling stories.
I got a couple ideas. You guys might be surprised.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
everybody. That is all for episode 22 of the Thick Boy Hours podcast. Q, aka Short Round. You won't find him anywhere, as we tell you this all the time. You just can't find him unless you're out there. Unless your water goes out, then you might find him.
Yep. Give me a call.
Skags, Dodgy Yeti. You can find him everywhere. Twitter's vintage_ISO, Dodgy Yeti on YouTube, Facebook, Tyler Skaggs. You can find me everywhere, like always, Lord Chris, community manager, lordsofgaming.net, Chris Jones Gaming Network on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, LinkedIn, all Chris Jones, see you at Chris Jones. Some form or combination of the name. And we'll see. Hold on, before we go, what's the update on, because I'm getting asked, what's the update on the chip and the candy?
I don't know, Q. You said you were gonna snatch him up.
Oh yeah. Next week.
So 2 weeks?
Or yeah, the next podcast. Well,
We're not
somewhere
doing
in
it on the
between
podcast.
now.
Remember?
Well, somewhere between now and the next podcast, we'll have them and do them.
Okay. You heard it, people that are asking me. That's all for episode 22, and we'll see you next time for episode 23.
Sweet.